up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, check it out. So by now, I'm sure you guys are familiar with this show, Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, or, you could probably call it the butchering of J.R.R. Tolkien. That also works as well. I mean, what hot garbage this was, right? Just absolutely terrible show, dumpster juice. Like dumpster juice, the juice at the bottom of a dumpster, that liquid that's swooling around at the bottom of the dumpster when the dumpster's been cleared out. That's what this show basically was, and then the audience score pretty much confirms that. 38% on Rotten Tomatoes audience score. Nobody was rocking with this thing. Nobody at all, with the exception of course, the shill media. The shills loved it. Oh, yeah, 83%. This is great. Yeah, the audience was like, nah, this ain't great. This ain't great at all. Yeah, let's go down memory lane real quick, all right? These are some of the articles that was out during that time. The Rings of Power has inexplicably terrible writing. Yeah, and it did. Absolutely garbage writing for this show. Yeah, then y'all remember this. Amazon analyst had fell asleep watching The Rings of Power. Y'all remember that? Bro was falling asleep, man. Couldn't keep his eyes open watching this boring shit. Some of y'all probably fell asleep too, man. They're throwing back 5-hour energy drinks and Red Bulls, trying to keep your eyes awake on this crap. This was a boring show that Amazon shelled out $1 billion for. He reminds us of that. I mean, man, what a nightmare, right? Then y'all remember this, man? Amazon was radio silent, right? On the Rings of Power audience side, it said it was deafening. All right, the silence was deafening. And it's like, yo, Amazon, why don't y'all give us some numbers? You guys said, oh, yeah, the Rings of Power was a smash success. All right, cool. Let's see some of those numbers. Divulge that information so we can, take a look at it. Oh, no. Y'all don't need to know that. Y'all don't need to know that information. Well, why not? I mean, if it's a great success, you guys should just be splashing numbers all over the place. How come we're not getting any information? And here's the reason why. This information came out later down the line. Only 37% of viewers finished Amazon's Rings of Power, which is very bad. Yeah, man, you damn right. This is very bad. You mean to tell me that out of everybody that tuned in for the first episode 1, Rings of Power, that only 37% of them cats made it to the finish line? Episode 8, that's it? That's all? 63% of your audience noped out? I'm good, Amazon. Y'all keep that. Y'all keep this trash. House of the Dragon. I'll finish that one. House of the Dragon was out during the same time. So was Andor, I want to say. I think Andor was also out. We got other stuff to watch. We ain't got to sit up here and waste our time with this crap. And this article mentions it, right? A rival Netflix usually cancels most shows that come in under 50% completion. Squid Game, its mega hit, had 83% completion. That's how you figure it out, right? How many people are actually watching all of this? Yeah, we got those big numbers at the beginning. Whoa. How many people finished it, though? We don't want to talk about that. Yeah, this is why I didn't want to talk about that. Again, if it was a Netflix show, this thing would have got canceled because it came in under 50%. But it didn't get canceled. As a matter of fact, it looks like it's getting worse. Rings of Power Season 2, edgier tease proves Prime Video still doesn't know its audience. Yeah, so they're going to make it edgy. Oh, we learned from our mistakes. We're going to make an edgy show for Lord of the Rings. We're going to make Tolkien edgy. We're going to make it fashionable, cool, hip, trendy. That's what we're going to do with Tolkien. I mean, good God almighty. But see, again, these clowns don't know what they're doing. And somehow, the Rings of Power showrunners extend overall deal with Amazon MGM Studios prepping season 3. You don't need to be good in Hollywood anymore. You do not need to be good at your job in Hollywood. You could be a total bum. You could be a bust. You can make trash. It doesn't matter. Here's your new deal, fellas. All right. You can get mocked and laughed all over the internet. It won't matter. All right. You can be, what was it? You could be sitting at 38% on Rotten Tomatoes with your audience. Your audience can absolutely hate you. You can have inexplicably terrible writing. Okay. You can have cats falling asleep. All right. Analysts falling asleep on your show. We can't keep our eyes open with your trash. You can have only 37% of the viewers even bothering to finish your show. And yeah, here's your new deal, guys. All right. The only thing that makes sense is these cats are running a con job. They have somehow figured out a way to con their way into Hollywood. They've conned their way into Amazon's pockets. They got Amazon to spend $1 billion on this trash. Yeah, these guys. J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay. Two of the biggest con artists in the history of Hollywood. You know, you always hear the stories about how cats be like putting together these little productions and scam artists, you know, making movies, you know, like Bowfinger or whatever. You always hear about those types of productions, but those are like little fly-by-night rinky-dink joints. They're not like real stuff. This is $1 billion franchise. And somehow these two chuckleheads have clowned and conned their way into Amazon's pockets. And they still getting away with it, yo. It's the funniest thing ever. How are these dudes pulling this off? I really want to know, man. I want to meet them just to say, hey, guys, how did you do it? You know, how did you convince Amazon to make trash, spending $1 billion to make your bullshit? How did y'all do this? You know, can you let me in on the secret? Because I really want to know. Man, I'm telling you, these Rings of Power showrunners, man, they have learned from the absolute best. Danny Ocean would be proud. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and check this article out and see what they're talking about. Rings of Power showrunners Patrick McKay and JD Payne are staying in business with Amazon MGM Studios. The duo have signed a new exclusive overall deal with the studio and have launched their own Prodco 1040 PM Productions. Under the new 3-year deal, Amazon MGM Studios has exclusivity on TV rights. Financial terms were not disclosed. McKay and Payne wrote and executive produced season 1 of the hit Emmy-nominated Prime Video series The Lord of the Rings of Power, which debuted in the fall of 2022. The series was the most watched Amazon original worldwide and debuted at #1 on the Nielsen streaming chart, remaining in the top 4 throughout its initial run. Yeah, see, this whole thing is smoke and mirrors, all right? Well, why didn't it stay at #1? It debuted at #1, but then it dropped. This top 4 don't really tell me nothing. That 37% tells me everything. Oh, okay. This top 4, yeah, what else was in there? Was it Andor? Was it, House of the Dragon? You know, bumping this thing all the way down. Not as popular. Oh, it's top 4. Well, what else was out? And again, 37% is the number that I think of when I think of this show. Oh, only 37% of people finished it. You know, they be trying to cook it up and clean it up and make it sound good. Nah. We began this remarkable journey with JD and Patrick more than 5.5 years ago and have never looked back, said Vernon Sanders, head of television, Amazon MGM Studios. We continue to be amazed by the scope and scale of their vision and the enormous global success achieved by The Lord of the Rings of Power, and its record-breaking first season. This is that enormous global success they talking about. This 38% on Rotten Tomatoes for the audience. Oh, that's just a bunch of review bombers. Don't matter. You don't see that on other stuff. You don't see that on One Piece. All right? They ain't showed up on One Piece. What happened? Yeah. People love stuff. People don't like stuff. They let you know. Don't let the smooth taste fool you and them talking all of that review bombing shit. That don't work with me no more. Okay? Because I see all kind of great shows getting love and praise. What happened here? You know, don't give me that. Don't give me that. I'm not letting you have it. No. We can't wait for Prime Video customers to experience the epic adventure and high-stakes drama that JD and Patrick are continuing to build throughout Season 2 and beyond. Naturally, the studio is thrilled to extend our overall deal with these brilliant creative minds as they continue to deliver on their passion for great storytelling. I mean, again, man, he got to say all of that shit. You know, he got to spin the company line. We get it. But, I mean, this thing is just an unmitigated disaster, and there's no other way to look at it. You know, so they got to give these guys, I guess, some confidence. Don't worry, guys, we're going to stand behind you. But you know damn well that if Season 2 fails, all right, if Season 2 is an absolute dumpster fire, they are going to pull the plug on these dudes. They aren't going to allow what happened in Season 1. It's just going to get worse. I don't even think it's going to even get close to the numbers of Season 1. It's going to get objectively worse based on what we already know about it. They're going to make it edgy and all that crap. It's just going to get worse. So it's just funny that they're even saying this crap. Payne and McKay were the showrunners on Season 2 of The Rings of Power, which is expected to debut later this year. And while a Season 3 writer's room has not yet opened, the showrunners have started to break the initial story outline. It is expected that when the time comes to go into production in Season 3 of The Rings of Power, will move from Bray Studios to a brand new production facility at nearby Shepperton Studios in the UK, and there's their rep. So, yeah, man, I just think, like, ultimately, this thing is going to be another gigantic dumpster fire because of what we saw in Season 1 and what we've heard about in Season 2. And you would think if everything was all systems go and they're not like feverishly behind the scenes trying to fix all of their bullshit, you would think they would have already had some sort of a trailer out by now. You know, and unless they're, maybe it's getting reshot, you know, who knows what's happening. But you would figure like, yo, we're excited, you know. We know we did the job this time, you know. Yeah, maybe Season 1 was kind of iffy, but Season 2, oh yeah, we coming with it. And so you would think that they would already have had something out in the first couple of months if it's supposed to drop later on this year. We've gotten a House of the Dragon, trailer. We know what's going on with that. But nothing with the Rings of Power. Nothing at all. So, we're going to have to see what happens when it comes to these two chuckleheads here. JD and Patrick, man, these cats for 5.5 years have been running the okie doke on Amazon, man. Just pulling the wool right over their eyes, taking money out their pocket. I mean, they have been running game on Amazon, and Amazon's just not hip to it. And all the evidence in the world is right there. We just went through it. Amazon's just completely blind. I don't know how this is happening, but there's no way in hell. They should have had at least season 2. Hey, if season 2 ain't good, you guys are out. They getting extended deals. Man, you got to give it to them for their con work, all right? Congratulations. You guys are the best con men in Hollywood. I don't know how they doing it. I would love to know just so I can understand it, because I'm tripping. Like, how is Amazon making these mistakes? They do good with like other stuff. Reacher, Reacher was good. They did, The Boys and Invincible. Jack Ryan, they got good stuff on Amazon. Somehow these morons have figured out how to run the game on a major Hollywood studio like Amazon. I mean, I just think it's hilarious. But anyway, folks, you guys let me know what you think about season 3 upcoming The Rings of Power. We ain't even got season 2 yet, and season 2 could be hot garbage for all we know. And then season 3, oh my goodness, it's just too funny. But you let me know what you think. Jump down in the comments, give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.